Hello, it's Shug here, lounging around in my Majestic Hammock, and today we're going to take a look at their suspension system. You know, a hammock without suspension is like a guitar or a bass without strings. So we're going to look at Majestic's suspension system today. Just that. I'll do more short videos on the other parts of that hammock. So what I like about Corey, and Corey is the owner and designer of Majestic Hammocks, is the way he has put his personality into his suspension system. He likes clean rigging. He's just a guy that doesn't like dangly straps. It's based on a series of 4 straps. We got a 2-footer, a 3-footer, a 4-footer, and a 5-footer. You got your 2-footer, 3-footer, 4-footer, 5-footer. You can put them together in any way you need to extend that strap out. You know, you might need a smaller loop on one end of the hammock, more on the other, depending on the girth of the tree. So here I take my 5 right there, and if I got a big tree, I can hook that with my 2, and we're gonna show you here in a minute the best way to hook these together. And I got 7 feet, or I take my 4 and my 3, and you do that math, you got another 7 foot. And you know, you could do it various ways. You take your 3 and your 2, and you got 5 feet right there. And you take your 4 and your 5. 5 and 4 is 9. Is it 9? Is that 9? 9 feet? I think it's 9 feet. And with those, you can get a lot of options, particularly with your Whoopie slings. It'll go out to like 7 feet or draw into 11 inches. And plus you have the option of your continual loop, which you could put your beaner through. Quickly here, if you don't know what a Whoopie sling is, it's an Amsteel suspension rigging. And here you have what's called a constrictor. And your Whoopie doubles back on itself. This will be the loop end, and this is the tail end. You can see it coming out of a splice. So what I'm doing now is I'm pulling it out to its full length. You can see that constrictor kind of scrunching up on me as I pull the Amsteel through. Still pulling to about its very end there. And there is a bead, again, to keep that from getting sucked up into the constrictor. And then always with a Whoopie sling, you want to milk your berry, just stretch your constrictor out. Right here we got the Whoopie sling on the Majestic Hammock pulled in about as much as it can be. And the distance we have on this Whoopie to the end of the hammock is about 11 inches. And that's right there to the end of the beaner. If you got a really short hang, you have this continual loop right here at the end of the hammock. You could take your beaner, put it through that, and hang your hammock if you had a really short hang. I've done that a lot of times. From the end of the Majestic Hammock, and yes, I just lay my hammock on the ground often, pretty dry out here. We're right there. There's the continual loop. Here goes the Whoopie. There's that tail end right there. There's the constrictor. And we're going out to about 7 feet at the end, which then goes into play when you hook it on Majestic's hammock straps. Clean rigging! My hammock is a 10.5 foot Majestic Hammock, 10.5 feet. So we're looking at that plus the extension of the Whoopie slings. If we go from this beaner and the tape measure, down, 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 down on, you know, we're roughly at, 23, we're at 23 feet right there. This is the tree in my backyard I have been hanging off for years and years and years. So for this one, I'm going to use the Majestic Hammock. You'll see right there it's marked. There's a little 3. But for this particular tree, the 3-footer works. That's exactly enough without dangly strap. Clean rigging. How many times you gotta say that, Shug? Oh, I'm gonna say it a lot. And that, from this tree to that fence post, is about 15 feet. Probably right on the money. Trees are never spaced in the woods like you want them to be exactly 12 feet or 15 feet or 17 feet or 20 feet or 21.5 feet. It never really works out that way. For years, I've been using Whoopie slings. They're kind of my favorite suspension. There have been these moments when I've left my Whoopies loose and I'm putting my tarp up and a Whoopie will just wrap around your boot or shoe and just get stuck and you're tripping around. So in case you don't know, this is pretty basic, but here's a really good way just to take that extra bit of Whoopie and just wrap it up and knot it off real quick. This is what I've always done. I put my fingers like this. Longhorns, dude, brother, mahalo, whatever that symbol is. But it works for me, and I'll just take my Whoopie, and then I just take the Whoopie with those two fingers, just kind of do a figure 8 wrap. So I'm kind of going around the front of that one, around the back of that one. And now around the back of that one, around the back of that one. I'm coming around up on the front of that one. And then I'm leaving just, oh, I don't know, about that much. And right here, just sort of put it together. And I wrap 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. And then I take my finger and I wrap around again, like that. And then I just come through with the loose end and just tighten that. And then your Whoopie's just, it's just dangly. Meow, meow, meow. Just clean. It looks really nice. That's tidied away. You got your Whoopie up to your beaner, right to your strap, without a lot of dangling. Clean rigging. If you don't want to use a beaner or carry it, we're just going to show you how to tie a becket hitch on there, the way that Corey does it, because we're going to be tying the am steel onto the webbing. Am steel tends to be inherently slippery. So when you tie a knot in that, you got to be kind of careful, oftentimes double up. So with this becket hitch, we're going to show Corey's technique of how he likes for you, the consumer, or just the watcher of this video, to tie this thing so that that am steel doesn't slip and slide out. That means that you won't have to use a carabiner there if you're one of those people that'd rather tie a knot. Here is the end of the Whoopie, and you want to let out a bit more of your Whoopie sling because you need something to work with here. And then you're just going to take the Whoopie sling end, pull that through the loop of your Majestic suspension. I'm looking down at my hammock and I'm probably going to go, it's just going to be my head end. It's probably a little bit higher than I want it because this knot is going to let loose a little bit. I'm going to kind of pinch it off here, and I'm going to make a loop, and I'm going to pull this end through with my fingers, like that. Then I'm going to take this end that's done. I can tighten that up a little bit right there, and let's just take a look. See, my hammock is about with that. I haven't totally tightened it or finished it, but I'm about where I want to be, but it's probably going to give a little bit. So we're going to come back up here. And what I'm going to do now is take this loose end of the Whoopie and just pull that back through that first knot. And then we're going to tighten that up. So kind of tighten it. All right. And then I'm going to lean on this thing. You can kind of see it tighten, hopefully. And I'm literally leaning on that right there to tighten it up before I get into the hammock. And now when I want to release that knot, I'm going to take this end and just pull it, and that knot will come right out. Well, let's say you get somewhere and you got a tree like this. Well, that 5-foot strap's not going to cut it. You're going to have to put some straps together. And we're simulating having a tree that is just too big for like even the 5-foot strap to get around. So we've got to put our straps together, or it might be a case of we have really wide tree spacing, really wide, and we need to extend our straps. So what I got here, here's the longer strap. That is the 3-foot, and here is the shorter strap, the 2-foot strap. This is the longer. This is the shorter. I'm going to put these two loops together. I'm pulling the longer through the shorter until the ends meet up. Then I'm going to flip those over, And then I'm putting the shorter, which is on this side now, through the longer. And what happens, we go together, get past the stitching part and pull them so that we have a square knot. Now we'll put that around my tree. So that's on there now. This is the knot that I just tied. So now we're going to hook my hammock up to it and lay in it and just take it off and see how easy it is to get out. Bounce a little bit. Hey, maybe you'll get to see my fence fall. I'm gonna pull on it. Let's take it off and see. All right, so we've had that knot kind of bounced on me laying in there, and this can be tough to get out of some suspensions, but just a little bit of finger wiggling. You know, you just kind of grab the knots, like any knot you try to get out. Loosen it up a little bit. Bam, right out. This is a very interesting suspension system. I would have to say very different than some of the ones that I've come across in its philosophy and in its owner's thoughts about it. So I like it. Hope you enjoyed looking at the Majestic suspension system. Clean rigging. Woo, buddy! All secure in Sector 7. I dare say His Majesty prefers to be suspended in regal, majestic splendor. Here we go with the Majestic Hammock straps in their stuff sack. We're looking at about 9 inches long by 5 inches wide roughly, although this will squeeze down because it's just 4 straps. And here we go with the weight. That is 9.1 ounces, 259 grams. Come on. Right, got it. In the world of hammocks, the hammock, and in the world of hammocks, one of the least sexy parts to talk about is hammocks. I space out like I am right now.